everyone, I am Miss Maggie and I will be providing a brief introduction to the discretionary stage of the secondary school places allocation system. In this presentation I will be talking about firstly the discretionary places stage that will start in January, secondly the application form that needs to be completed and submitted, and thirdly the important dates that you must take note of. The secondary school places allocation system is divided into two stages, the discretionary places stage and the central allocation stage. The discretionary places stage allows parents to send applications to two secondary schools of their choice. Of course, these secondary schools should be registered and be participating in the DP process. The remaining places are used for the central allocation stage. For this presentation, we will focus on the discretionary places stage. The maximum number of participating schools a student can apply to is 2, while there is no limit to the number of non-participating schools one can apply to. These include direct subsidy scheme schools and private schools. It is important to take into consideration that the admission requirements needed for these schools vary from each other. Furthermore, some of these schools may require you to pay a regular tuition fee. We strongly advise parents to look into these unique admission requirements when applying to a non-participating school. A student can also apply to a secondary school that is outside the district his or her primary school is located in. So, for example, you can send an application to a secondary school outside the Kuntong district if you wish to do so. Each secondary school has its own set of admission criteria, therefore each one may ask for a different set of additional requirements. Of course, these criteria and requirements should be fair and accessible to all. Furthermore, schools may arrange interviews with applicants if they wish to do so. We strongly recommend that parents contact the secondary schools they wish to send their application form to so that they can get a better idea of what additional admission requirements are needed. Now let me provide more information about the application form. Each application form is divided into 4 parts. The EDB copy, which is in blue, the school's copy, which is in green, your own copy as a parent, which is in red, and finally, the order of school preference, which is also in red. It is in this form where you will state your first choice school and your second choice school for your child. The application form already has basic information about your child printed out, such as his or her name, date of birth, current primary school, and student reference number. We strongly suggest to parents to please check that the information stated in your child's application form is correct. If there is any information that needs to be revised, please contact us immediately so that we can make the necessary amendments. Also, if you only have one secondary school choice for your child and do not want to fill a second choice, then the blank form will be null and void. It is important that you bear in mind which form you are completing, your first choice or your second choice, so please double check before submission. Here on the screen are some important dates to take note of. The application period for the discretionary places stage will begin next year in January. As I mentioned earlier, some secondary schools may require applicants to undergo interviews as part of their application criteria. These interviews will take place between February and March. The choice-making period for applications processed under central allocation will be in April to May. The release of the results for both the discretionary places and central allocation stages will be in July. The registration period for students who will begin their first year of secondary school will be in early July. And finally, there are now some secondary schools that may request their students to fulfill an attainment test made by the EDB. If so, the testing date will be in mid-July. This will help determine what class they will start in for their secondary school education. You can check with your primary or secondary school teachers concerning the date closer to the time. Some other important notes we would like our school's P6 parents to consider. The application form cannot be retrieved or cancelled, and no changes can be made to the order of school preference once submitted. This means that the EDB will not allow any changes to the first and second choice schools stated in an application form, which is why a lot of serious planning and preparation is needed before completion. If an application form is damaged or lost, a fee of $125 will be charged for a replacement. In order to help our P6 students' parents prepare for the important decisions they will be making a few weeks from now, we will be distributing the application forms of your children and some very useful notes regarding the secondary school places allocation system. All the information in this presentation can be found in this document. The school will also hold a P6 Parents' Night where we give them more information, some personalised, regarding secondary school admission. Thank you very much, and I wish both you and your children all the best as you go through this process.